What's up, y'all? It's Shuffle, and we got some interesting indirect news about Darkest Dungeon 2 and the console release. So, as you know, Red Hook has been rather silent for about the past month, ever since the last patch. They haven't said what they're working on, they haven't really been in the public eye, at least that I've seen, so who knows what's coming next. But a thing people keep asking about are consoles. If you did not see my interview with the developers, very fantastic people, they mentioned that the two priorities this year are the console release, the DLC that they're working on, and the mod scene, or mod support, I should say. The unfortunate thing with all of our console friends in terms of gaming is usually there is very little mod support for the games, so I really doubt that people who play on Switch or PS5 or whatever will be able to mod the game, at least not easily. Besides being told that consoles are a priority this year, we got the indirect news via a Twitter handle called Gematsu, which randomly tweeted out on March 5th, 7 a.m. my time, and it said Darkest Dungeon 2 has been rated for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch in Brazil. Judging from the very short description on the rating with Brazil, it appears to just be rated for teenagers, so I don't know if there's a PEGI 14, stuff like that, but the specific age that's listed is 14. I believe the reasons are because the game has obviously fictional violence and drug use. Most of us undoubtedly think, oh, space coke. No, it's probably pipeweed, and to an extent, all of the whiskey. Even though this is only for one country right now, it is interesting to consider, because if Red Hook is sending the game out to be rated by various agencies across the globe, it is safe to assume that they're doing this for every country they plan to sell it in. Either Brazil finished their homework first, or they just happen to spill the tea/coffee/bean. This doesn't necessarily confirm that it's going to be an immediate release date. The time between getting an ESRB rating and actually releasing the game, from what I've seen, seems to be rather variable. However, they have been making strides towards the console release over the last several months. You remember when they were coming out of early access and stuff, they were working on things like controller support, so you could play it with a controller plugged into your computer. With that in mind, though, the actual release date could be, honestly, any time, it seems, because we're still going through some extra patching on the PC client, such as hero balancing. That's still ongoing. I would say right now we're at like 5-ish out of 13 or whatever the roster is. You consider Grave Robber, Highwayman, Occultist, and the two DLC characters, because they seem to be pretty solid outside of a couple tweaks they probably need. But everyone else either needs some kind of, massive, I shouldn't say massive, but some solid tune-up to bring them up to speed with the rest of the game, as well as their pass system has to be integrated to the new system. Because of that, the console release could come out alongside the final hero patch once everything's done. It could come out with the DLC. Again, we don't have a release date on that. As far as the consoles themselves go, I'm really not worried about any of the Xbox or the PlayStation variants. I think it'll run pretty well on those. But I am worried about the Nintendo Switch. That thing just doesn't have the hardware capability to play stuff even at a passable level. I mean, I see this a lot with indie projects. The first-party Nintendo stuff seems to be okay, but all of the indie stuff is not really designed specifically for the Switch hardware. So I wouldn't be surprised if on Switch we're looking at, 30 FPS, stuff like that, unless they're really, really good at optimization. Definitely not telling you to skip it on Switch. That is not what I'm trying to imply. Personally, I would like to get it on Switch myself, just because that way I could play it on the go, because that's the best part of the Switch, is the portability. Otherwise, we're all just kind of waiting for some kind of news and some kind of update. Whatever major project like mod support or DLC is being finished, what the roadmap going forward is looking like. We've definitely been in the dark for a little bit now. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you're thinking down below in the comments in terms of the release or mod support or anything you're looking forward to. For a lot of the PC crowd, this probably isn't major news, but as a YouTuber, I get tons and tons and tons of comments about people asking for console release, so I know there are a lot of people that will be happy when it makes its way there. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.